Welcome back to Breakfast Central. Sunday, Dari, the Special Advisor, Media and Public Communications to the President, has of course said that he has dubbed a term called Tinubunomics. And he said that Tinubunomics is yielding positive results for Nigeria. There was a scale that was put up on social media of the prices of things before and what the numbers have become now. And this, of course, has garnered a lot of reactions, majority of it being criticism, as people have started to present their own version of what exactly it is. Now, here's what you should know. A recent market survey suggests that prices are actually increasing under the current administration compared to previous ones. According to data from the NBS, the inflation rate has risen significantly since President Tinubu took office, with the price of staples such as rice seen an increase of over 20% in the last year. Economic experts have attributed the rising prices to a combination of factors, including the removal of fuel subsidies, increased taxes, and a weak naira. To analyze the effect of the president's economic policies on the average Nigerian, we have joining us this morning Labour Party chieftain Ife Salako. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Ife. Good morning, Binga. Now, my first question to you is, what was your reaction when you saw that tweet from the Special Advisor to the President, Sunday, Dare? I mean, was he comparing Tinubu's government to Tinubu's government? Because I don't understand some of the figures.
I mean, isn't it obvious that you can't compare Tinubu's government to any other government apart from Tinubu's government? So they've actually perfected the process of making things get worse than the way they met it, and then they kind of like find a way to get it, retracted to a particular point and begin to praise themselves. It's like children who take like 10 steps, forward, and then they start going back, and it just doesn't lead anywhere, basically. So, but it's they perfected the art of praising themselves over what they have actually done wrong. The whole economic situation, when they took over this country, we all have, a witness to it. We knew where Nigeria was when they came in, and the best you can do, there is a saying in Yoruba that says that Oshabo legbemi, shemibo shebami.
What does that mean?
Yes, it simply means that Oracle, if you cannot make my life better, at least leave it the way it was.
So look at what the Tinubunomics says. Maize, 120,000 naira, former price, current price is 17,000 naira. Rice, 110,000 naira, current price is 90,000 naira. Yeah. Tomatoes, 120,000, current price 60,000 naira. Onions, 220,000 naira, current price 60. Millet, 95,000 naira and 70,000 current price. I think the one that Nigerians can relate to the most, because it's a very key factor in determining the others, are the last two, PMS and dollar. Yeah. 1,220,000 naira before, current price 940 for PMS, and dollar 1,675 before, and current price 1,540. Part of the argument is that, or the argument we've seen supporting this Tinubunomics, even though somebody has done a different version, saying that different version is the real Tinubunomics.
Exactly, with May 29, 2023.
Exactly, I'm hoping that we have that picture. But the argument is that we were living in a false reality, that what we had then was a government or an economy that was highly subsidized. And so now we are faced with the reality. So that what the comparison might be doing is comparing the actual cost of living post removal of subsidy to what the current reality is. So does that argument hold water? Does that argument make sense?
Just to add to what Olive said, it's those decisions had to be taken. The manner in which and the palliative measures that were provided, it's another question. But to say that we've made progress, I mean, what the government should have come, they should have been genuine and said that, look, this was what happened when we took off subsidy, this is it now, like Olive rightly said.
Right, I mean, I don't understand what they keep saying about we living a fake life. I don't understand it. First of all, let me say on this national TV, I am not in support of subsidy removal. Fuel subsidy removal in Nigeria, I am not. I've never been in support of it. And I know that when I say these things, sometimes they come at me and say, oh, your Peter Obi said he's going to remove subsidy. I'm not Peter Obi. I am not in support of subsidy removal. because the PMS, the way I have said, I've lived in this country for over 40 years. I know very well whatever affects fuel in Nigeria affects the poor people more than any other person. So when you come to me with a narrative that there are some people behind it who are sabotaging, the process, and they're stealing and they're taking advantage of it, and you're telling me you're removing the subsidy, and not one person, who are these people that are taking advantage of this, the whole process, who are sabotaging the process, who are stealing from subsidy. You have not arrested one person. You have not prosecuted one person, i.e. these persons are your friends and families. And then you think that it is best to remove subsidy and get the poor people to suffer. And you are telling me, okay, let's even say we have removed the subsidy. Who are the ones that are still benefiting from it today? It's still the same set of people. You've not taken anything away from them. And so it's you now coming to say, oh, yeah, you're selling fuel went from... Isn't it shameful? Sorry, please. Isn't it shameful that an APC government can say that fuel is selling for 120 and they brought it to the fuel that you met at the 1,220, fuel that you met at that 2,220 something.
I don't think it was even up to 200 and...
Let's even agree that it was just that 200 and something on it. You added a whole 500%, and then you are happy that you brought it to 940, and you are celebrating that. If again, Oshabo Legbemi, if APC wants to help Nigerians, they should take us back to the days of 216. I can remember that billboard very well. They printed it, wrote 216 naira for fuel. Is it okay? It is not okay at the time. 940 is then madness.
But let's look at some of the positives. In the last 1 year, we've gone from a net importer of petrol to we're being self-sustainable, we're being sustainable, self-reliant now. The Dangote refinery is even exporting finished products to different countries. Is that not worthy of celebration? And fuel queues seem to have disappeared.
It's in all fairness, I'll tell you that we had lesser fuel queues even under Buhari's government, save for towards the end of the term, and then things are getting a bit messy. So fuel queues shouldn't be something that should be celebrated in this age and time. Man, this is 2025.
We know the struggle.
I mean, it shouldn't be something we will be talking about and saying that it's a positive, that we're having in Nigeria. I mean, the fourth largest oil producer in the world, or in Africa, in the world, as it were. I mean, so you cannot say...
Yeah, but because we've been there, we've experienced this pain of long queues.
Then shouldn't we have gone past that? Isn't that what APC promised us in 2015?
And we seem to have gone past it now.
Well, I mean, to some extent.
To be honest, last year was chaotic. It felt like we were having back-to-back fuel scarcity.
Yeah. So coming to the fact that, we now have some refinery, we have the Dangote refinery. Great. I have said it. I know very well. It is the private sector that drives the economy.
Is it too early for Tinubunomics for them to start celebrating? Because if you look at market dynamics, like others have said it will still come down. The price will come down.
Tinubunomics. You see, the problem has not been solved. The problem has not been dealt with. It is corruption, pilferation of government funds. That is where the problem is, and excessive spending of government. These are the problems that we are facing. So when you say that you have a budget of, I think the budget of 54.99 trillion, and I can look at that money. One, the money is not available. A huge percentage of it is going to come through loans and all. We're using 26% of that budget to sponsor loan, to pay back loans. 26% of our budget, right? And let's get it clear. I mean,
the real Tinubunomics that is being shown on the screen. So as of 2023, a bag of rice, 35,000 naira. Was it 35 really? I feel like bag of rice was like 50,000 naira. But I mean, I don't know. And that 2024, it came up to 110,000 naira. Now it's back to
just look at PMS and dollar.
So, okay, yes, let's look at PMS.
Say.
PMS 165, I don't know if this is the actual value. But 2024, 1,220 and 940. And that's one thing that the current administration has been accused of. They've accused them of inflating prices and then reducing it to the actual...
not even the
actual intent that they had in mind all along. Then people now start saying, at least, it's just like someone setting the house on fire and then bringing the fire extinguisher and putting out the fire. You're saying, oh, wow, you did a great job putting out the fire. Those are some of the things that we hear Nigerians accusing them of. But, I mean, is there hope? Do you have hope? Labour Party is having its own drama, but do you have hope? If we have time, we'll look at that. 2 more years. 2
more years.
Some will say 2 years, some will say 6 years.
Are there still things they can do to salvage?
Is it 2 more years for the APC or is it 6 years? And do you see anything that can be done to ensure that the Tinubunomics is that they call it, is palatable to the average Nigerian?
I mean, there's no way it can be palatable to Nigeria. You cannot destroy the economy as much as they've destroyed it and think that it can be rebuilt in 2 years. Because these are figures. You can't force it. There was a time they're trying to force the inflation down and say, no, you cannot hide these things. They are there. We are presently at 34.8 inflation, which is still, because if you look at it realistically, just as we are saying,
it's more than that.
It's way more than that. I had a friend who bought a car, Highlander, in year 2020. Right, we bought the car, a foreign used car, for 3 million naira.
You cannot try that now. If you say 3 million, please
here's where I'm coming. That car, he has used it for 5 years now, right? And the Nigerian market, the Nigerian price of that car, right, it's about 6 million naira.
Imagine. Wow. You know what? You hear these numbers and they just make you so exhausted. We're going to have you join us again and talk about the potential of the Labour Party, at the next elections. And you have to give us your word, that you can give us that word.
Sure. Sure.
All right.
Thank you.